hereby declare the INSEAD Executive MBA class officially graduated! I hereby declare the INSEAD Executive MBA class officially graduated! I hereby declare the INSEAD Executive MBA class officially graduated! hereby declare the INSEAD Executive MBA class officially graduated!
This is the story of a dream which began in the mind of one man. Georges Doriot, a professor at Harvard, understood the need to create a business school for Europe that would be based in France while being truly diverse, independent, and close to business. In the post-war period of the 50s, Europe was looking for a new identity. In March 1957, the Treaty of Rome led to the European Economic Community. The time was right for Doriot's dream to become a reality. All he required was the vision, energy, and talent of a few loyal supporters. The committee developed a firm set of operating principles and a pioneering curriculum for a program that was to become the world's first one-year MBA. The search for premises that would match our requirements was difficult, given that we had no government or university backing. A remarkable solution was found in the Fontainebleau Palace, a palace which had always been witness to different kinds of leadership, from hundreds of years of royalty to military heads of state. But from 1959, the chateau would be alive to a new kind of leadership, one that would be dedicated to bringing prosperity to war-ravaged Europe through business. On Saturday, the 12th of September, the opening ceremony of the first MBA intake took place. This first promotion was formed by 57 participants from throughout Europe, Morocco, and the US. INSEAD was already reaching out beyond the borders of Europe and embracing its destiny as a global school. Less than a year later, the promotion graduated, and the graduates immediately formed the INSEAD Alumni Association, a community which has now grown to 50,000 alumni, distributed across 172 countries with 157 nationalities. INSEAD grew rapidly in size, quality and reach, and by the mid-1960s, the school's need for a place of its own was becoming urgent. 5 hectares of land was found adjacent to the Fontainebleau forest, and the state-of-the-art campus was inaugurated in 1967. Faithful to its founding principle of being close to business, INSEAD launched its first executive education program in 1968 and steadily grew its portfolio and initiated customer-specific education. In 1974, following a first highly successful program focusing on Asian business, the institution launched a fundraising campaign which would result in the opening of INSEAD's Euro-Asia Center in 1980. Establishing a lasting and fruitful bond with Asia's business world. By the mid-1980s, INSEAD was recognized worldwide for its academic excellence and outstanding faculty. But without a doctoral program, it would never be considered the equal of top US schools. In 1989, the school welcomed its first 6 doctoral students, as outstanding as they were diverse. In 1996, after a successful fundraising campaign and building on the fruitful relationship initiated through the Euro-Asia Center, the board decided to make a bold move and build a full-service, equal-status campus in Asia. The MBA program, which had 2 intakes a year since 1983, would now run in parallel on the new campus in Singapore, so that participants could switch between sites. In true INSEAD style, the school did not wait for the campus to be built, and in September 1999 welcomed the first class of 53 pioneers from 25 countries in rented facilities. The Singapore campus was officially opened in September 2000 and has been growing ever since. In 2003, in response to increased demand for a part-time MBA degree, meeting the needs of senior executives, INSEAD launched its Executive MBA program, once again giving the well-established format its own distinctive twist. Within 5 years, the 14-month program would enter the rankings in the top 10. Yet yet another of INSEAD's ambitious ideas had been transformed through action into achievement. With sister campuses operating in Europe and Asia, INSEAD could live up to its promise of being the business school for the world, a position which would be reinforced in 2007 with the establishment of the Abu Dhabi Research Centre, now grown to INSEAD's Middle East campus, hosting executive education, executive MBA and MBA teaching. After 6 decades of groundbreaking initiatives, unparalleled education delivered, and an ever-increasing mark on the business community, in 2016, the INSEAD MBA was ranked #1 in the world by the Financial Times, making INSEAD the first and only school to achieve a triple #1 ranking for its MBA, Executive MBA, and Single School Executive MBA programs. In 2017, the INSEAD MBA was once again ranked #1 in the world. The story began with one man and his remarkable vision of the future, but there is no question that without the actions of thousands of pioneers on 3 continents who have come together to build the business school for the world, INSEAD would still be an idea. And it is equally certain that our founding principles will continue to drive INSEAD to even greater achievements for many, many years to come.
Dear parents, partners, family members, friends, INSEAD faculty, alumni, staff, and participants, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for the INSEAD Global Executive MBA class of 2017 and the EMBA 2018. Welcome! Woo! Thank you everyone for coming to help us mark this special day for our participants, and a very warm welcome to those joining us online. I'm Urs Peyer, Dean of the EMBA program, and I'm joined here on stage by Ilian Mihoff, Dean of INSEAD. Dear graduates, today we celebrate your achievement of completing a unique and special program, the INSEAD Executive MBA. Just 14 to 18 months ago, we opened the program. A program that brings together a diverse and globally minded talent pool to focus on 3 things: academic learning, personal and leadership development, networking, and career development. Let's look a little bit at the learning dimension first, and this is to assure your parents, friends, spouses, and other financiers that you have done a lot. INSEAD's EMBA programs are the most intense in the world. One of our professors, Pascal Manhout, calls it the extreme MBA program. Remember, we made you take exams to prove to yourself and to us that you've mastered the core subjects of the Masters in Business Administration. Today, we're here to celebrate that achievement. The learning has continued in the electives and key management challenges for the Gembas up until yesterday. And it was inspiring for the whole campus the last 3 days how you have engaged in the strategy developments, the role plays, the bike fair with so much energy. I'm very proud to say to the parents, partners, kids, and friends that your graduates have studied very, very hard. But the learning did not just come in the courses. You, as participants, brought so much to each other and to the program. You've shared with each other experiences through talks, organized company visits, participated in boot camps, and in the INSEAD Venture competition. These exchanges have led to a very, very strong network of friendships. And I believe that networking part you have done really well here at INSEAD. When you met all these months ago, at the opening, you looked around you. Do you remember? Vaguely? It's only 14 to 18 months ago. And you saw this diverse set of strangers. If you look back at your INSEAD journey and you reflect on how many friendships you've built within the INSEAD community across all starting cohorts, you're now one big family together, a family of INSEAD executive MBAs. But what is it really that got you melted together so tightly? And I would say there's at least three things. The first one is obviously your willingness to be open to new ideas, to new cultures. You've organized, I would say, an extraordinary amount of extracurricular activities, and during the last few days as well, during the summer electives and during the KMCs. The evenings were mostly double booked. And I also appreciated being able to tag along for the American football game in San Francisco between the KMCs, so thank you for that. Second, there's the carefully designed program that created opportunities for us to interact and learn from each other. And I'd like to take this opportunity to give a special thank you to the professors who have facilitated these interactions and to the staff who especially the program management team who've helped us create this great program. Thank you. Third, but not least, the personal leadership development program journey of the Executive MBA program. Together with the OB professors, Vincent Dominé and his team of coaches have posed challenges to you, your leadership development program groups, and the section at large. Challenges which I know have led to deep insights, even if not always pleasant. Not only have I seen many of you change as your peers have held up the mirror to you, but a testament of your transformation is the many career promotions and new challenges that you've already accepted. And I know you are all ready now. Let me end with my best wishes for you. I truly hope that each and every one of you is graduating today being richer in knowledge, ready to make a positive impact on the companies and people you will be working with, but also richer in friendships from around the globe. Keep both alive. Thank you. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Dean Ilian Mihov. Ilian has joined INSEAD in 1996 as a professor of economics. Ilian started his distinguished academic career at Princeton University, that's the gown, where he received not one but two fellowships for his PhD. The second one was specifically to collaborate with Ben Bernanke, former US Federal Reserve Chairman. Together, they have published 4 papers, and one of which was on the Great Depression. And as an academic, he's been a frequent guest on CNBC's Squawk Box commenting on macroeconomic policies during the financial crisis. At INSEAD, before becoming dean, Ilian has been teaching the macroeconomics core course in the MBA and the EMBA programs, winning many times the Best Teacher Award. And one of his classes even created a song for him, published on YouTube. Don't do it now. It's called the Mihovian Rhapsody. So, as a dean, he has led the school to be recognized as having the #1 MBA program in the world, plus many other things, which you will hear shortly about. A less well-known fact is that Ilian was also nominated to be the Deputy Prime Minister of Bulgaria, which, fortunately for us, he turned down. Please help me welcome Ilian Mihov, Dean of INSEAD.
Thank you, Urs. Dear family, friends, alumni, INSEAD board members, faculty, and staff, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the EMBA graduation ceremony for the class of 2017 and the EMBA class of 2018. Especially, I want to welcome the graduates that are coming here for their graduation. I think that you're about to enter a great period, a very exciting period, a period of change with great movement geographically, professionally, intellectually, and undoubtedly a period of great success. So today, our key focus is on you. Today is the beginning, not the end of your relationship with INSEAD, because you are the INSEAD of the future. When you joined INSEAD 14 to 18 months ago, you did not join a predetermined, templated, navigated program. You did not sign up for a course that had been run for hundreds of times in a very rehearsed manner. In fact, you joined a program that continuously innovates and makes sure that the influence that the school has on you will be long-lasting and transformational. Furthermore, INSEAD, I hope, will allow and even demand from you that you embrace your new role in the world, whether as a disruptor, a transformational change agent, or an outstanding leader. Most importantly, I hope that INSEAD has prepared you to be a force for good in the world. I want to say a couple of words about INSEAD, given that we have a lot of guests here today who may not know our school. INSEAD was started in 1959 in France, in the Chateau of Fontainebleau. It started with 52 students initially, without a campus, without permanent faculty, without a clear idea how you'll continue for the next 2-3 years. INSEAD was started by Georges Doriot, who was a professor at Harvard Business School at the time, with the idea not only to bring management education to Europe, but he viewed INSEAD as a place that will promote peace and prosperity by bringing people from all over Europe at the time. INSEAD from day one was set up as an international school. To study at INSEAD in 1959, you had to speak German, French, and English. Any of the classes could go in one of these 3 languages, as well as the exams. Because it was part of the European integration at the time, INSEAD was viewed as a way to promote business as a force for good. Today, we're a very different school. We're one of the biggest MBA programs. We have a growing EMBA program. We're one of the largest providers of management education in the world. We are pioneer in setting up a multi-campus structure. There is no other school that can get even close to the diversity that you observe at INSEAD. Through its entrepreneurial nature, the school has made a long-lasting and important impact in management education over the world. What is most important about INSEAD to remember is that INSEAD is a mission-driven school. We're not part of a university. We don't have private shareholders for whom we have to maximize their profits. And we're not part of a governmental educational structure. So every single day, we have to think, why does INSEAD exist? Why are we here? And we exist because we believe that business is a force for good. We believe that by training the future business leaders, by helping you develop as the future business leaders, entrepreneurs, and managers, you'll be able to transform the world for the better. When you think about business as a force for good, there are obviously 2 different interpretations. There is a very narrow one. We want you to be trained in the best way possible so that you can run your companies in an efficient and productive manner. Business as a force for good is best illustrated when you think about countries like China, India, Singapore, South Korea, even Italy and Germany. These countries 50 years ago, 100 years ago, were very poor. In fact, in China in 1980, there were 840 million people who lived below the extreme poverty line of $1.90 a day. 85% of the Chinese population was in extreme poverty. Today, there are fewer than 50 million people. Something unprecedented has happened in the world, whereby throughout the world more than 1.5 billion people have been lifted out of poverty. It's a miracle. It's a miracle that has never happened before, and it has happened only because of one thing, and that is economic growth. And in the long run, the only engine of economic growth is business creation and business innovation. Without growth, there is no poverty reduction. So our mission as a business school for the world is to train people like you to accelerate this growth. But this is a very narrow interpretation of business as a force for good, because we see that in the last 20 years or so, tension between business and society has been increasing. We have seen how the general public looks with distrust towards business elites as well as political elites. We have seen that some businesses, in the process of maximizing their profits and value, have actually destroyed value for the society. So today, when we think about business as a force for good, we want to think in a different way. We want to enlarge the understanding and the definition of this phrase by saying that whenever you maximize your profits, whenever you think how to create more value for your company, you also think how you create value for the society. To act on this, we are creating this year a new Global Institute for Business and Society, where we will examine how businesses can be part of the challenge and part of the solution of resolving issues around sustainability, income distribution, ethics, issues around social impact, or gender equality. And we are very optimistic. We do think that by bringing awareness, by studying these issues, when you create value for your company, you can also create more value for the society. Because I think that we live in an imagined reality. We believe that certain things are normal, that they're part of our norms, just because they have been there for ages. But these things can change. In 1776 BC, so about 4,000 years ago, in Babylon, King Hammurabi created one of the first written legal codes. The king was put on the throne by the gods Anu, Enlil, and Marduk in order to make justice prevail in the land, to abolish wicked and the evil, and to prevent the strong from oppressing the weak. King Hammurabi was perceived as one of the most just and fair kings at that time. In fact, in the United States Congress, there is a bas-relief of King Hammurabi as one of the first codifiers. If you read his code, which is available on Wikipedia, you'll see some very interesting quotes. For example, if a man strikes a freeborn woman so that she loses her unborn child, he will pay 10 shekels for her loss. If the woman dies, his daughter shall be put to death. At that time, it was perceived as normal that you can kill an innocent creature just because of a crime that her father has committed. On July 4th, 1776 AD, so exactly the opposite side of time relative to year 1, the Declaration of Independence was signed and adopted in Philadelphia by the Second Continental Congress. The Declaration of Independence is very well known by many people, especially the second sentence. The second sentence is probably one of the most quoted sentences in the world today. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Thomas Jefferson was one of the 5 people who drafted the Declaration of Independence, and while he was pleading for unalienable right to freedom and liberty, he owned 600 slaves. It was normal that freedom only applied to certain people at that time. In 1966, if you came to INSEAD to study in the MBA program at the time, you'll realize that there are no women in the classroom. Today, we're celebrating 50 years of the first 2 women graduating from INSEAD. But in 1966, it was normal to see only men in the room. The normal stands for the imagined reality that we have created and the world that we live in. We create these norms, we draw our borders, we create myths justifying why we're different from people across the border. But what is normal today will not be normal tomorrow. What is accepted today in terms of business behavior will not be acceptable tomorrow. We are at an inflection point where more and more companies and more business leaders think how to create value for the society while maximizing their profits. So our mission now is much broader when we think that all of you will be part of this mission, where in the process of value creation for your company, you create also value for the society. One thing that you should remember today is that it is not the end, it is the beginning of your link with the global INSEAD community. My goal over the next few years is to build a very strong community with the alumni in the school working together to take INSEAD to the next level. And I hope that you will be part of this crucial effort. Because INSEAD is not the project of the dean, it's not the project of the faculty, it's not the project of the board. It's a joint project of the entire community. We believe in the values of INSEAD. We believe that business can promote peace and prosperity and can have a long-lasting social impact. What is quite fascinating about INSEAD, and I did not graduate from INSEAD, as you can tell from this robe, but what I am fascinated by is how much people find INSEAD to be transformational in their lives. Many of our alumni will say, INSEAD is the best year of my life. INSEAD was a truly transformational year. INSEAD is for life. The first time I heard this was in 2013. I was appointed as dean on the 1st of October. On the 9th of October, I had the first reunion with the class of 1963. At the time, they were celebrating their 50th reunion. And I was sitting next to an Austrian alumnus, Günther Mauerhofer, and I asked him, why do you come to INSEAD? Today we have all these rankings, we have marketing, we have alumni, we do all kinds of tricks in order to attract people to come to INSEAD. He smiled and he said, I heard about this place in Fontainebleau where people from all over Europe are getting together to work together instead of fighting with each other, which we have been doing very successfully for centuries. And I just got into my car and I drove to Fontainebleau. And then he said it was the best year in my life. And I was thinking, this is weird, best year in your life. Probably, he's a bit nostalgic of his young years. Who knows what they were doing in the forest of Fontainebleau. But over and over again, you hear the same phrase. Whether I meet EMBA students, MBA students, other participants in our programs, they say the same thing. INSEAD transformed my life. I'm committed to ensuring that you'll be very proud and happy that you graduated from the school. And very proud to say, yes, I earned my EMBA at INSEAD. So here is my charge to the class of 2017. As your dean, and as you join this community, I must ask you at least of 3 things. Maybe more. First, find your passion and stay out of your comfort zone. Use the skill set you gained at INSEAD to explore roles, regions, sectors, industries that you might not have considered a year ago. Seize the opportunities which you find most exciting. If you must take a safer route, then do so with rigor and zeal. Distinguish yourself and challenge yourself. Luck very often is associated with taking risk. As the great American philosopher Forrest Gump said, life is a box of chocolates. You never know what you'll get. So open that box and risk it. Stay out of your comfort zone and be inspired by challenges. In March 2016, AlphaGo, the computer program built by Google's DeepMind, managed to beat one of the world's masters in the game, the ancient Chinese game of Go, Li Sedol, in 4 out of 5 games. It's actually a very interesting story because when you look at the game, there is a very famous move called Move 37 in the second game. Move 37, performed by the computer program, surprised everybody. It was 1 in 10,000 chance to play this move. But somehow, the artificial intelligence, the program, figured out that this is a winning move. Everybody was surprised. You have to see the face of Li Sedol when he saw the move. And the computer won. In game 4, Li Sedol was behind the game, the score. And then he played the historic move 78. In move 78, he surprised everybody, including the computer. Even though the computer was leading, after this move, the computer lost the game. After this game, Li Sedol mentioned that his move 78 was inspired by the untraditional move that AlphaGo performed in game 2, move 37. This is a very important story because when we're faced today with challenges that are coming from artificial intelligence, robots, and so on, it is not, as we call it, an exogenous development. We react to all these things. So challenge yourself and find inspiration in these challenges. Try to think, all of us have to try to think, how do we find our move 78? Second, if INSEAD is the business school for the world, I must ask each one of you to determine how you will make INSEAD your own. How will you specifically and uniquely, individually contribute to the mission of making business as a force for good in the world? We are a different business school. We're mission-driven with strong values. We want you to be different. We want you to be values-driven business leaders. And third, I'm asking each one of you to become an ambassador for INSEAD and for all that we represent in the world. It may not be easy at first, having enjoyed this atmosphere of inclusion and cultural diversity. It may be a great adjustment going out back to your workplace where things might be less tolerant and might be more biased. But all the values, all the learnings that you have learned here at INSEAD, please bring them to your place and make sure that with this you transform the world. Whenever you are interviewed by a magazine on the news, when you are on TV, please make sure that you mention that you proudly graduated from INSEAD. Support your school and your alumni. So going forward, let us continue to champion diversity because diversity is the key to strengthening individuals, institutions, and society. Let us promote peace and prosperity for every individual, community, and country in the world. We are proud that you earned your EMBA at INSEAD. We are proud that now you're becoming the ambassadors for INSEAD in this increasingly complex and challenging world. I have no doubt that the EMBA class of 2017 will change our world for the better and contribute much to the prominence of our alumni community in our school, which today you can call your own. You are INSEAD. You're not only alumni now, you are our partners in this magical journey called INSEAD. Congratulations, thank you, and good luck.
Thank you very much, Ilian. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our graduation speaker, Dr. Tony Fernandez. Dr. Fernandez is Group CEO of Air Asia since 2001 and credited with the turnaround of Air Asia into a publicly listed budget airline, helping more Malays than ever take to the skies. And as a pilot, that means a lot to me. For his contributions to opening the skies here in Asia, he has received many recognitions. Among the many are the title of Tan Sri and Dato Sri by the King of Malaysia. He has also been named Commander of the Légion d'Honneur of the French government and Commander of the Order of the British Empire. He has also been awarded the CEO of the Year in several years in several publications, named one of the most creative people in business, and in 2014 has also been recognized for building the Air Asia brand. Dr. Fernandez also founded the Tune Group and is a majority shareholder of the Queen's Park Rangers Football Club. Dr. Fernandez is a graduate of the London School of Economics, is a certified chartered accountant, and received a doctorate honoris causa from the UT Malaysia. Please help me welcome Dr. Tony Fernandez.
Morning, everyone. Or is it afternoon? Oh, it's afternoon. Sorry I'm a little bit late, but I flew on Singapore Airlines and they were delayed. And AirAsia had no more seats for us, so I had to take the airline that I don't really like very much. I got my own cap today, since you're all wearing caps, so I'll put on mine, and I'll go in and do this speech. Dean Ilian Mihoff and Uruz Pia, Dean of Degree Programs. By the way, I thought I was a good marketing man, but you're fairly aggressive. You just didn't stop talking about how great INSEAD is, that even I want to come here now. Anyway, I'm thrilled to be here, and firstly, can I offer my congratulations to everyone who has graduated. It must be a fantastic feeling, and I'm particularly proud today because one of our staff is here who is an exceptional young leader and a future entrepreneur, hopefully with us. Michael Teo, where are you, Michael? He's going to help me revolutionize and disrupt the cargo industry over the next few years. We're very proud of you, all 20,000 All-Stars from AirAsia. You've done a fantastic job, and don't expect a pay rise. Anyway, I'll try and be serious like the Dean, except for his box of chocolates. As I said, I'm thrilled to be here. I was given the kind of average age of many of you, and so it kind of reminds me from when I started at AirAsia. But I'll just go back a little bit in time, in that I graduated from London School of Economics, and I didn't know what to do, so I went and became an accountant, which was the worst period of my life. And I passed every exam because I hated it so much. And then I became an auditor for 6 months, which really was hell on earth, even worse than dealing with politicians. And I was a musician, so I wrote to every record company, and they all rejected me except one, which was Virgin. And I want to give you a little story because the Dean mentioned about luck a little bit, but you sometimes make your own luck as well, and you've got to grab chances. And that's probably the best advice I'm going to give you today, is grabbing chances. So I went to every record company, and they all told me to go to hell, except one, which was Virgin, who gave me an interview. And I went to Virgin, did the interview, and they also told me to go to hell. And so I was walking out, fairly dejected, and Richard Branson was walking in. And I thought, right, shall I be a shy Malaysian and just smile and never see him again and regret it for the rest of my life? Or shall I do something to encourage him to talk to me and I get a second chance? I can't remember what I said, something about the wild jungles of Borneo or something. And he got interested, started talking to me at the door, and he said, hey, you're kind of an interesting guy, let's go and have a cup of coffee, which we did. And then he said, why are you here? I said, I came for a job interview and you guys rejected me. And he said, look, there's something really special about you. I'm going to give you a job. And that gave me my big break. And life is like that, you know, that if you don't take chances, if you analyze too much, if you use too many of the theories that they taught you at INSEAD, you'll never make a decision. And life is about making decisions and taking risk and taking chance, which your dean mentioned. And my whole life has been like that. And I'm going to give you 2 or 3 examples of that. So after Virgin, Richard, who became a good friend and remains a very good dear friend of mine, said to me, I'm going to start an airline. And I said, are you mad? And he said, no, I'm sick of British Airways, I'm going to start an airline. At that point, I decided that I wasn't going to be part of Virgin because I knew he didn't have enough money and he'd have to sell Virgin Records. So I left and joined Warner Music. And my prophecy was right. He sold Virgin Records to EMI, but where my prophecy was wrong was that EMI, Virgin people took over EMI. And then I worked at Warner and I was relegated to the basement. I was a financial controller and they treated accountants really bad there. And I was doing these inane reports, you know. It was like I knew no one would read these reports. So I went to my boss and I said, hey, can I change the report? And he said, no, this is how we've done it for 10 years, you've got to keep doing it. Now, I've always been someone that if I take someone's salary or I'm always going to, I want to do something that makes a difference, which is what your dean said, when you go out and change the world, make sure you remember INSEAD in all your TV interviews, but also change the world. And so I went and bought my own software. Now, you're all too young, but at those days, Harvard Graphics was the most powerful presentation tool. And I went and bought it, and I redid the report and sent it up to my chairman. And I told my girlfriend at the time, I'm going to be fired tomorrow, but I can't do a piece of work that I know no one's going to read. I can't conform. You know, I've got to do something that I think is valuable. And the next day I came in and all my colleagues were around a computer looking at something, and I went over there and it was my piece of work. And I thought, right, I'm definitely going to be fired. And they said, the chairman wants to see you. He says, the best piece of work he's ever seen. And so I was shuttered up to the 7th floor, the gods of the music industry. And there were legends, Ahmet Ertegun. These are people who created Atlantic Records and Elektra Records. And we started talking. He said, hey, you really have a passion for music. Why don't you go back and be general manager of Warner Music Malaysia, and maybe in 5-6 years' time, we will make you CEO. I didn't ask the salary, I didn't ask what my benefits were. That was an opportunity, and I grabbed it. I didn't ask my grandmother, grandfather, friends, which all of us Asians generally do, before we make a decision, then check with the dean. I just did it. Sorry, you're right next to me, so they all want to say the things I've been saying to you for 2 years. So I grabbed it, and I came to Malaysia. I was 27 years old, and I changed loads of things. I brought in local music and Chinese music, and we grew very, very fast. In 6 months, they made me CEO of Warner Music Malaysia. And I had a fantastic, so I was 27, 28, and I was CEO of a record company, which was amazing. And then I grew within Warner, and we had so many mergers. Started at Warner Communications, became Time Warner, CNN came along, and then AOL. And that was one merger too many for me. And so I was in Rockefeller Plaza, and AOL and Time Warner, Warner came up with the term EBITDA, earnings before everything you don't like. You know, and then call it cash flow. Well, what about the 8 billion in the balance sheet? And I was sitting here listening to Steve Case and Bob Pittman who were the owners of AOL in 75 Rockefeller Plaza. They were talking about their vision. And I was thinking, what drugs are these guys on? You know, this is 2001, the dot-com boom. And I made my career in one statement. So Steve Case says to me, Tony, what do you reckon our stock price should be in a year's time? It was $80 at that time. And I thought, listening to you, if it's still $80, we're doing well. But I knew I couldn't say that. I said $90. And he went, wrong, boy, $500. That's when my famous mouth opened. And I said, please give me some of the drugs you are taking. And I knew at that point my career was over. And I went to my boss and I said, look, I quit. I don't share the vision here. I don't want to be a hypocrite and take your salary. I quit. He was thrilled because he always wanted to get rid of me because he thought I was after his job, which I was. And so he paid me money and I left. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I flew from New York to London, because London was kind of my second home in many ways, because I grew up there. And I went to a pub. You do those things, having a Ribena, and contemplating the rest of my life. And I saw Stelios of EasyJet on television, a fellow alumni of the London School of Economics. And I don't think there's an INSEAD owner of a low-cost airline. So maybe if you give me an honorary degree, I can promote INSEAD as well. Change your color a bit to red. Oh, they're discussing about it. Maybe I have a chance. So, where was I? Oh, yes, sitting in the pub. And I saw Stelios talking about low-cost airlines. And I always kind of loved planes, because I was sent to boarding school when I was 12. You know, I'd never been to England before in my life, and my parents said to me, hey, you're going to boarding school. I thought, interesting concept. And got to London, I thought, wow, there's so many white people here. I've never seen so many white people. Now, if you arrive in London, it's not a problem. Everyone's Indian. So you feel quite at home at Heathrow Airport. So, slight digression. So I thought, this looks interesting. I went to Luton Airport, and I saw people flying to Barcelona for £8, people flying to Spain for, Madrid for £6, and Paris for £5. I thought, wow, what a great concept. Everything was orange, and, people were generally happy. And so there's a very fine line between brilliance and stupidity. It's very, very narrow. But I thought at that point, I'm 35, I'm going to give it a go. If I fail, I fail. Who cares? I'll come and be an INSEAD lecturer. That's it. I've just cost my doctorate now. But if I win, who knows? Which is the second piece of advice. Life is short. And you don't want to sit there at 55 and say, I wish I did it. Because it's too late. You can't press a rewind button. So you guys are going out into this fantastically exciting world, and life is great. Don't let anyone tell you it's not great. Don't moan about it. Don't be negative about it. Be positive, because life's much more fun when you're positive. And take risks. If you fail, you fail, but at least you tried. Because if you don't try, you'll never know. And dream, because it's okay to dream. No one ever got told off for dreaming. And from some of those dreams come reality. And you're living at a live example of a dream, right? I saw an idea in a pub. I came back 6 months later. We bought an airline for 25 cents. 16 years later, we've gone from 2 planes to 220 planes, from 200,000 passengers to this year we'll carry 73 million passengers, from Malaysia never winning an award in the airline business to us winning best low-cost airline in the world 9 times in a row, from 200 staff to 20,000 staff. Dreams do come true from risks. So remember this little story and go there and make a difference. And it doesn't matter if you fail. Be positive, enjoy yourselves, and live life to the most. Live life like it's your last day that you're going to be on earth. That's my philosophy. Because if I'm hit by a bus, and there are many people in Singapore who'd like to drive that bus, I would have lived a great life and had no regrets. And I've had some pretty spectacular failures, right? I owned a Formula One team, which lost me a lot of money, and I was pretty far back in the grid. But I was standing on the same grid as Ferrari and McLaren and Williams. I did it. I wasn't successful, but I did it. I own a football club, which isn't as bad as Caterham yet, but we're rebuilding and we haven't given up. But I did it. For a guy who used to listen to shortwave radio, listening to BBC World Service for football, to sitting at the Etihad Stadium, the last game of the season, deciding who was going to be champions. If Man City won, they became champions. If Man City lost, Manchester United would have become champions. So dreams do come true, from accounting to music to airlines. So live your life to the most and be real positive. I also want to congratulate INSEAD. I love the fact that you talk about diversity so much. I think that is so critical. And when I look around all of you in green, it's fantastic to see so many different colors and ages and different beards and some with no hair who love the tournament and some with lots of hair. It's fantastic. I love diversity. And at AirAsia, when we started, there were no female pilots. I was like, why are there no female pilots? And they came up with the most ridiculous answer that can never be repeated in public again. And I said, if a woman can run a country, she can certainly fly a plane. And today, we have 120 female pilots. And the other day was history. Captain was female, co-pilot was female, all the cabin crew were female, chief engineer was female, and all the passengers were male. That last bit's not quite true. But we're very proud. I promoted Irene, who started in the finance department, to now deputy CEO, and she has a fantastic opportunity to succeed me. So at AirAsia, we don't care what creed, color, race, religion, age, sex you are. We want the best. And we want people, my job is to turn raw diamonds into diamonds. I've taken boys who'd never had the chance to go to INSEAD or a great education because of economic reasons, and girls, but they had a huge brain. And we've taken guys who carried bags for us who are now pilots. We've taken call center staff who are now CEOs, and we give everyone a chance to use their brains for the most. So, in summary, I have 3 minutes and 17 seconds, and like AirAsia, I will be on time, unlike Singapore Airlines. I want to give you the last piece of advice. As you go out there and become super successful, and always mention INSEAD in all your TV interviews and press interviews, make sure you remain humble. Make sure you remain what you were when you first started. Ego is the biggest killer of any great CEO. Being accessible to your staff, being accessible to your partners is critical. Don't sit in your big ivory tower with your door closed. Make sure you're accessible, because you're only as good as the people under you. AirAsia is an amazing company with 20,000 amazing brains. It's not like many companies, only the top 10 decide everything. I rather have 20,000 brains working for me than just 10. And that's why I fly all the way to come and say well done to Michael, who I'm extremely proud of, because he's an amazing guy who's done amazing things for us. So, dare to dream, believe the unbelievable, never take no for a future. Congratulations, class of 17. You should be very proud. Go out there and make a difference, take some risks, enjoy life, and be positive. Thank you very much.
fees. Thank you so much, Dr. Fernandez, for your inspiring words and advice. I think the humble part at the end is also good to remember. Thank you for sharing your experience and insights today. Now, families, friends, guests, did I mention that INSEAD's EMBA program is really intense? No? No. Okay, diverse? Yes. Now, all that intensity and diversity is really great, but it makes INSEAD probably the hardest business school to teach at in the world. It is thus a huge honor to be nominated for a teaching prize. Can I please ask the academic reps, Karmit and Sanjeev, to please come forward to announce the EMBA nominations and winners of the Best Teacher Awards.
Thank you. We would first like to thank all the faculty members that took part in our journey. Your feedback, advice, and stories helped us grow as people beyond learning in the classrooms. Thank you all.
So, nominees for Outstanding Faculty Award for core courses. Pascal Minhout. Antonio Fatas. And Iona Popescu.
And the winner is, I always wanted to do that, Antonio Fatas.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm one of those people who tried to create an airline and failed and became a lecturer at INSEAD. It's a great honor to receive a teaching award at INSEAD, first because as academics, the idea of teaching and sharing our knowledge with our students is one of the things that is most important to us. It's also a great honor because my colleagues are all great. I've sat in some of their classes and they're really good, and I have no idea how some of you have voted for me for this award. But thank you very much to those of you who voted for me. Thank you as well for those that I didn't teach, those in the Europe section and the Middle East section, for not coordinating and voting on someone else, so I still made it to the award. For those of you who didn't have me in class, you didn't miss much because you had great macroeconomics teachers. Those of you in the Middle East had a visitor who's a great friend, Ayhan Kose, who's great. Those of you in Europe had our dean, Ilian Mihov, who is also a great professor. But for a few years, he's been doing more important things than teaching macroeconomics, but he still does it occasionally. Now, I just want to congratulate all of you for your achievements, and please stay in touch. Hopefully, we'll see you around in many different places, hopefully in one of our campuses. Thank you very much.
And now, the nominees for Outstanding Faculty Award for the non-core courses. Neil Burden. Roderick Swab. Henning Piazunka.
And the winner is Roderick Schwab.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Dear all, dear EMBA 17, EMBA 18, thank you all very much for this award. I'm deeply honored and feel humbled by your election. Thank you very much. I also want to thank you for making teaching you such a fun and great experience. experience. And frankly, actually, I'm a little surprised that you elected me after all that I put you through in the negotiation course. All right, so for those of you who did not attend the course, one of the things that you should know about your colleagues and about your loved ones was that I made them go through a lot of uncomfortable and extreme experiences, ranging from job negotiations with terrible HR professionals, and also managing very emotional disputes with unreasonable people who would express anger, who would express threats, driving you literally up the wall. Remember those disputes? Yeah? So despite all these experiences, I hope that you learned a thing or two that will hopefully also stick. First of all, to not fear rejection and ask and go out there. Also, to not confuse the quality of your agreements with actually how you feel about those agreements. But above all, to not assume that there is not just one way to cut that orange. Remember the orange story. The key to sustainable agreements is to be curious about why others want what they want, to treat them with respect and with dignity, and also importantly, very importantly, to be generous, especially when you can. So dear all, my hope is that as you leave INSEAD, that your world after INSEAD is a little bit less random than before, and that your newly acquired powers will not only make it easier to manage conflict going forward, but also serve you to be a better person in virtually all areas in life that really, really matter. That is, to be a better leader, to be a better parent, and also to be a better partner. Thank you very much, and good luck going forward. Thank you.
So now, obviously, it is important that what you all have contributed to the program. And here, to address you in your valedictorian speech is Paul Hyun. Please, Paul, come to the stage.
Woo. Dean Mehoff, Dean Pear, faculty and staff, family and friends, esteemed guests, and the graduating classes of EMBA 2017 and EMBA 2018. Welcome and good afternoon. I vividly remember about a year ago stepping into INSEAD. I was dressed in a business suit, but no tie, of course, because, I'm the cool, relaxed Google guy. Nervously excited, for I was about to meet my classmates, wondering if the cool kids will be my friends. On that first day, I started my walk towards the Fontainebleau campus with an Englishman living in Australia, and a Colombian woman living in Canada, and a Norwegian living in France. We all entered the amphitheater to be welcomed by diversity personified. Never had the founders imagined when they started INSEAD they were able to drive diversity to this degree into the values of a world-class institution. We had doctors, soldiers, of course consultants, half the population of Estonia, entrepreneurs, engineers, Tartars even, and so many more. While diverse, I think we can all agree that we would have wished there were more women in our class. Let's take a moment to honor the brilliant women in our class, as well as celebrating the 50th anniversary of the first woman MBA graduate at INSEAD. Nevertheless, what invigorated me most was the sight of over 100 fellow travelers undertaking a similar journey and completing it. A wise science historian by the name of James Burke once said, "You can only know where you're going if you know where you've been." Do you remember where you were 2 years ago? For most of us, we were starting to explore the possibilities of doing something called an executive MBA. Whether we're at the height of our careers looking for tools to climb even higher, whether we're just satiating that undying thirst for knowledge and learning in a formal classroom setting, or whether we wanted to be part of something great, perhaps something rated #1 in the world. The thought of subjecting ourselves to the unending #OMG moments was the start of a journey in pursuit of something greater. #OMG. I have to write 7 essays for this admissions application? #OMG. I have to pay how much in tuition and fees? #OMG. I got in. I mean, yes, I got in, because I'm pretty amazing. Yes, I got in. And #OMG. Why did INSEAD insist that sending us 5 kilos worth of paper was okay, as long as I deemed it pre-reading? Since day 1, 221 of us completed what we thought was impossible over the past 400 days. For the data-driven Gembas, let me list a few stats. 60+ days of modules, 54 nationalities, 12 core courses, and of course, those dreaded exams. 4 electives, 3 campuses, 1 institution. We've also had many joyous occasions. Countless drinks at Glasgow and Fontainebleau, porters in Abu Dhabi, and timber here in Singapore. Dozens of new Gemba babies. As a fact, we recently welcomed another baby into the family. Congratulations, Fahad. While we're happy that you're here, we're more excited for you to meet your baby daughter by the end of this weekend. 3 marriages. Congratulations, Amrek, Haroon, and Theo. A pair of babies. Congratulations, Mr. Foe. How you managed to do any pre-readings is incredible. And me, I only had champagne to babysit. But it hasn't been an easy ride, has it? Some struggles were easier than others. I remember that one time, silly time, where we thought it was a good idea to party until 6 a.m. when we had classes at 8:30. The fight and mental strength we had to muster up to climb out of bed, rush to class, just to sit behind that nameplate. But the INSEAD coffee machines helped us with that. Even in the last 72 hours, we struggled with time and energy allocation in the first 100 days challenge, like we did throughout the entire year. While we raced against the clock, jumped from room to room, we pushed ourselves to stay present, to savor the moments, yet we yearned for a little catnap. But some struggles were a little bit more difficult. I remember when I was preparing to leave work for the first time, there was an unsettling feeling that I'd fall further behind work and I let my team down. Some of us had to leave our family and friends behind to attend INSEAD modules, sometimes missing out on anniversaries, birthdays, and perhaps not being able to put your child to bed at night. The feeling of disappointing loved ones was deep and unpleasant. There are many moments in the past year and a half when we questioned our motives. We asked ourselves, what am I doing here? My family needs me more. Am I selfish by being here? We can all identify with those moments and those soul-searching questions, yet the conflict continues to eat at us, to poke us on every side. I wondered, have I bitten off more than I can chew? I started asking myself questions like, what am I doing in my job? Does it really align with my values and my passions? More profoundly were the struggles with our true selves. I remember when sitting in our first UDJ class with a sense of inadequacy overtaking my body. Upon looking around, it appeared that everyone else understood, except for me. I definitely remember feeling a little bit too embarrassed to raise my hand. My pride took over, and I lost out on a learning opportunity. This reminds me of a story by Hans Christian Andersen, The Emperor's New Clothes. Once upon a time, there was a well-loved emperor who had the respect of his kingdom and loved new clothes. Every day, he would put on a new suit and visit the villagers of his kingdom. They would clap and cheer him on. One day, he meets the finest tailors in all of the land, but they had bad intentions. They convinced the emperor to give them money in exchange for a make-believe invisible suit. Because of that, the emperor dresses up in his finest suit and parades himself through the squares of the kingdom, when suddenly a little boy points up at his dad and says, "Look, Dad, he's not wearing clothes." The father hushes the child and lowers his gaze. Upon seeing the reaction from the crowd, the emperor looks down at himself and realizes he is indeed naked. In my version of that story, the emperor goes into hiding for 3 months from embarrassment and shame. And because of that, the butler knocks on his door and says, "Sir, you must face the kingdom again. They need you. Get dressed." Until finally, the emperor got dressed, greeted his villagers in the open, where they embraced him again as a leader of their kingdom. As you can see, the emperor faced a moment of vulnerability, shame, insecurity, and went into hiding. He didn't want to face the others for fear of ridicule because he had revealed something of himself that people shouldn't see. Similarly, in our INSEAD journeys, we've revealed things of ourselves that we don't often share with others, but we did to our LDP teams, coaches, Gemba friends. As leaders, sometimes we don't want to show our vulnerabilities, our nakedness. In the story, the little boy and the butler made an innocent observation. Then the emperor took it up. Through the butler's support, he found courage again and got dressed. Through our Gemba program, we completely exposed our innermost thoughts and insecurities about our family dynamics, our work challenges, and our real struggles as leaders. The feedback we hear about ourselves are often not criticisms. They're mere observations, yet they hurt us. But upon reflection, the observations are constructive. Their feedback came with complete acceptance for us. And like the emperor, we have become better people. We have become better leaders because we owned up to our vulnerabilities and embraced them as our weaknesses. Leaders today need to get dressed to face our villages again. We got dressed to face the evils of NPV calculations, hegemonies, and Porter's 5 forces. We got dressed to experience the joys of late-night study sessions in breakout rooms, healthy debates on China's futures in the residence bar, and learn how to speak loudly or carry a value stick. For the introverts in our group, we got dressed when we asked an introvert, "May I join you?" And that led to fascinating conversations, laughter, and even an invitation for drinks at Porter's. We have struggled, but look at how far we've come on this Gemba journey. Let us take a moment to give ourselves a huge round of applause. It is at this stage that I'd like to thank our village that had supported us on our journey. To the staff of the Gemba program, I'm sure you agree that Gemba 17 was uniquely crazy. For all your patience and hard work, from the days of application to the academic year across 3 continents, your career advice, and setting up this amazing graduation. Gael, Natalie, Samia, Marian, Christina, Gina, Sabrina, and Vicky, we sincerely thank you. To the professors and faculty of INSEAD, each of you is a world-class expert in your subject. In the few short hours that each of you had with us, it is no exaggeration that you have not only increased our knowledge, but you also actually rewired our brains. Thank you for the intensity of your work and for the feedback on ours. To our LDP coaches, it's not really easy to get a bunch of stubborn, prideful, tough adults to open up, but you managed to persevere and continue to have faith in our ability to acknowledge our strengths and weaknesses and ensure that we had psychological safety to openly share. And for that, we thank you. And a special shout out to my LDP team, Neha, Dilmar, Guillaume, Mihal, for never giving up on me, yet always giving in. Because you know, I really don't like no as an answer. To the class reps, every module you worked with enthusiasm and added to the official schedule. I've been truly amazed by the work, especially when we're visiting new campuses for the first time. Marilyn, Karmit, Subi, Keti, Khalid, Muna, Mara, Clement, and Sanjeev. And our honorary class reps, Dimitri, Rami, Louis, Benny, and CK, for all the hard work and amazing events. Thank you. To our employers and our teams back at the office, without your trust and your exceptional abilities to take the reins in our absence, we would not have had the rich experience in building bonds and extracting as much knowledge here at INSEAD to improve our team performance. So thank you. Most importantly, we turn to our loved ones, assembled here and watching across the world. Without my mom, I am nothing. I'd like to recite a Vietnamese poem to honor her and our parents, for the support is unique. Công cha như núi Thái Sơn, nghĩa mẹ như nước trong nguồn chảy ra. Một lòng thờ mẹ kính cha, cho tròn chữ hiếu mới là đạo con. Dad's labor is as big as a Tai Sun mountain. Mom's love is like water flowing from the source. With all my heart, I respect and honor my parents. To uphold the filial piety is my duty as a child. It is your unconditional support of whatever direction we have chosen that we appreciate. Thank you. To our wives, husbands, partners, and dearest friends, the past year and a half, we've been able to pursue the dream of studying at INSEAD, and we have reaped the rewards every day that we've been at school. However, you have put up with the stresses and strains, our bouts of pre-reading, our panics over exams, and our absences. All we can say is, you have our endless appreciation for your love and sacrifice. Thank you. Now, I see some children in the room today. Can all the children put both of your hands in the air like this? Yeah, that's right. Perfect. You are superstars, true winners in our books. We know that you miss your mommy and daddy when they're away, but you must know that they miss you too, right? I was told that you helped mommy and daddy with their homework when they came home. You deserve the loudest round of applause. The values of our village, combined with the values of our founders, helped us have courage to change, embrace who we are, and to leave our comfort zones. They forced us to be brutally honest with ourselves, for the things we've seen cannot be unseen. They dared us to challenge assumptions, for the new lessons we've learned cannot be unlearned. We know what's possible. We know we have to make an impact wherever we go. Today marks the end of our global executive MBA journey. We're no longer 221 individuals. We're no longer Gemba Asia, Gemba Europe, or Gemba Middle East. But we wear the cloak of Gemba 2017 and carry the values of INSEAD on our shoulders. Today, we stand as proud INSEAD alumni. No matter what your vulnerabilities or insecurities are, remember that your INSEAD village is here to support you. Now, like the emperor in his village, go and get dressed. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're now coming to the academic honors, the Dean's List. And this is only for Gembas because the Tiembas still have to finish. Let me first congratulate those Gembas who reached an overall grade point average, a GPA, that put them in the top 10% of the class. And that's that list, okay, will be there. So can I please ask all of the participants that are on the Dean's List to rise? Please stand up, all of you who have been you're on the Dean's List. Congratulations, special round of applause. Very good. Congratulations. Now, thank you. Now there is the Claude Janssen Prize, which is the prize that recognizes the highest GPA of all of the 225 participants. Unfortunately, Claude Janssen himself cannot be here today, but Claude is one of the founders of INSEAD, and he today sends his very warm welcome to all of you as new alumni of INSEAD, and especially congratulations to the winner of the Claude Janssen Prize. And the winner is Raymond Lloyd. Congratulations. Yeah, absolutely.
This is completely unexpected, so I really don't know what to say, but thank you all for an amazing year. It's been absolutely transformational personally, and I think it would have been for everyone here. I hope that we all stay in touch and that we continue to build on what we've built this year. So thank you.
So can I now please ask Samia and the Gamba team to proceed with the awards of the INSEAD EMBA diploma. The diplomas are awarded in alphabetical order, and there is some 235 to hand out. Thus, it will take about an hour. But it's important for each and every one of you to be recognized here, graduating in front of your parents, family, friends. So take that moment of pride, please, and help us together celebrate your achievement. Let's please set up for the graduation.
Ready? Are we ready? Christina? Our first graduate for today is Dilmar Abdullah. سليمان العلي. ليلى العامري. علوي الجفري. محمد نائل القدسي. Sorry. منى الشنفري. محمد البريدي. فيصل الغربلي. كلود ألوا. فيصل المحيدب. وينا أندرياني. عثمان أنظر عثماني. جورج أرهن. Nicholas Armstrong with distinction. Yanyab Atema with distinction. Samir Azim. Sylvain Azarelli. Agnès Beclon Dagano. Kei Kyung-on Baek. Joanne Ban. Godwill Kader Bankol with distinction. Doris Bao. Sarah Bao. Mohit Batra. Blaise Baudry. Ala bin Abbas with distinction. Muna bin Yahya. Adrien Perrault. Mukhtar Bharti. Miro Plajev. Clément Boulle. Aurélien Préton. Subhan Baruch. Andrew Bushell. Matthew Campbell. Gilles Caraschino. Christopher Cartwright. Charles Cesson. Pramod Chalak. Madam Chandran. Eric Chang. Dimitri Shishlo. Chun Wei Chu. Yusuf Air. Lauren Chung. Andrea Ciucciarelli. Gael Clemenceau. Gildas Cole-Deboeuf. Pascal Conter-Jodra. Paddy Kaur. James Crennan. Guillaume Cronel. Soufiane Damam. Richard De Palmas. Philippe de Schoenmaker. Anas Diab. Arina Divo. Yulia Doroskinia. Troy Doyle. Laurentini Dioghi. معن الريس. سلام الوادية. Jason Fan. Jean-Luc Ferraton. Celso Ferrer. Enya Fracassi with distinction. Daniel Fried with distinction. Bastien Gambini. Frédéric Gondolfo. Pravar Gautam. Frederick Gerner with distinction. Vasilis Gazilis with distinction. Karmit Glick. Henry Goodwin. Edouard Guillot. Tuna Gulnech. Nikita Guleyev with distinction. Mohit Gupta with distinction. Abadesh Gupta. Ghassan Haddad. Harun Hamid. Baqir Hasnain. Alexandra Einman. Deborah Hong. Vincent Hung. Marine Ogona. Asad Hussein. Toto Hutaparat. Paul Huynh. Ala Idrisova. Khalid Ismail. Philippe Jacom. Mukul Jain. Sushant Jain. Duruf Jerath. John Jisha. Catherine Jonathan. Sujit Joshi. Aidar Kaliev. Ka Keng Kam. Fahad Kanu. Karan Kiswani. Khalil Kitari. Nabil Khan. Stella Sangim Kim. June Ko. Simon Comiso. Selda Konokcho. Michael Krishner with distinction. Koshe Kulkarni. Niraj Kumar. Simon Kiaga. Miguel Laburu. Aymeric Lacroix. Akbar Laghari. Rami Lahoud. Jean-Christophe Lannery. Alex Lau. Florence Lefour. Fabien Leduc. Hugo Lehmann. Gisela Lesmana. Marcin Liuzcu. Oliver Lewin. Ivan Lim. Sangwook Lim. Anton Lin, with distinction. Sung Chuan Ling, with distinction. Redmond Lloyd, with distinction. Oscar Loza. Yisong Lu. Ray Louis. Ans Mahmoud. I Makino. Malgorsha Maruzovsk. Rachel Marks. Theo Mathekalonis. Sanjeev Mathur. Neha Mehta, with distinction. Vaibhavi Mehta. Ammar Miati, with distinction. Oleg Mikhailov. Graham Mitchell. Philippe Trampergmont. Omar Muhatarim. Thomas Molgard. Cesar Morias. Simon Morris. Mahendra Muralidhar. Raed Nahas. Sébastien Naon. Trisha Naidu. Kok Hui Ang with distinction. Catherine Nederlander. Sam Ocheho. Pascal Okoro. Nicolas Olive with distinction. Benny Ong. Tom O'Reilly. Yosuke Oshima. Alex Osho. Satoko Ozeki. Siddharth Parmeswaran with distinction. Natanya Parapernal. Romain Béchard. Preet Petaja. Jacobo Perez Bolaino with distinction. Matthew Phelan. Anne Filippona Hinzi. Robin Fo. François Pigna. Jason Poe. Louis Poisson. Oliver Rebach. Andrew Roberts. Florent Rabunion. Daphne Roussy. Anne Raibinia with distinction. Julien Salon. Filani Sanguini. Alexis Shea. Rito Shiltlu. Adam Schindler. Michael Siedlin. Zhenya Sitrakova. Iwin Cheng. Elchi. Marwan Shurab. Ujwal Singh. Matijas Lee. Andrew Song. Dora Song. Puneet Sirvatsava. Chunyang Su. Michele Surya. Mark says with distinction. Abraham Takom. Roland Tambu. Michael Tavalokolo. Cheng Kui Tan. Norman Tan. Yingxi Tan. Usama Tariq. Teresa Tay. Michael Teo. Russell Thomas. Olivier Tour. Alison Tran. Matteo Trinca. Pasquale Tusto. Salim Turki. Clément Tournière. Elena Tyutunikova. Francis Van Aker. Dirk van der Mast. Katie Vashakidze. Sophie Vozel. Jobilal Babachan. Mara Babasori. Mattia Vavarus. Manav Verma. Steve Vermont. Albon Vital. Ludan Wang. Su Wang. Marcus Widmer. Chao Wu. Erika Yunayarti. Ruslan Yunusov. Marilyn Zakur. Mira Chang. Josephine Cho. Yu Cho. Anita Zielina. Alexander Lebelegui.
All right, we'll do it together. Thank you, Samia and the entire team for the excellent work to allow us here to have this wonderful ceremony. Again, please, a round of applause for the team. Now, can I please ask everyone to stand up? And graduates, please to take your hats and get ready for the hat throwing. By the power vested in me by the INSEAD faculty and the board, I hereby declare the INSEAD Executive MBA class officially graduated! Bravo! Are you doing your photo? Yep, thank you. You want to say?
I need the...
What do you need?
Graduates, we will have a